just a new beginning. I stepped into the quiet dorm room, my heart racing with a mix of excitement and nerves. Where was she? I wondered, glancing around at the bare walls and empty bed. My family hadn't come to see me off, only my brother, who still had 2 more years of high school. Why should it matter? I chastised myself. For once, I was creating my own path. I took a deep breath, trying to shake off the lingering sense of disappointment. As my roommate hadn't arrived yet, I decided to give myself a little distraction. I changed into comfortable shorts and a t-shirt and ventured outside, eager to explore the campus. I couldn't help but smile as I thought about the sleek, cherry-red Ferrari my brother had gifted me for my graduation. I grabbed the keys from the mini fridge and headed out, the excitement bubbling within me. On my way, I collided with a solid figure. Oof. You okay over there? You've got that lost freshman look already, joked a tall guy with tousled brown hair and warm green eyes. Oh. Sorry about that. I'm fine, just a bit clumsy, I stammered, flashing a nervous smile. I'm Nick, by the way. Second year here, what's your name? He asked, genuinely friendly. Cat, or Kitty, I replied, my nerves easing a bit. Just graduated, Anne. Nice to meet you, beautiful, I'll remember that, he teased, making my cheeks redden. Before I could respond, someone called for him, and he waved goodbye, promising to catch up later. I was still blushing when I realized I must have looked ridiculous standing there. Just as I composed myself and continued down the hall, I bumped into someone else, this time, a warm and gentle presence. Oh. Sorry. I exclaimed, looking up into a pair of gray eyes belonging to a stunning girl with dark brown hair. Is it the freshman thing? I promise I don't bite, she joked, her smile infectious. I was just surprised by how, well, you took me off guard, I admitted, my heart racing again. Trust me, I've been told I have that effect, she replied with a playful wink. Are you all right? She asked, her smile shifting to one of concern when she sensed my awkwardness. Yeah, just a bit homesick, I mumbled. She chuckled, raising an eyebrow. Well, feel free to join the club. Anyway, I've got stuff to unpack. Maybe I'll see you around, she said, brushing past me. Wait. Are you in room 233? I blurted out. Yeah, how'd you know? She asked, curiosity lighting her face. Because I'm your roommate, I said, feeling a mix of excitement and trepidation. Her eyes sparkled with mischief as she replied, that might be a problem. Why? I questioned, taken aback. Because, I'm gay, she said casually, her tone matter of fact. I stood frozen for a moment, processing her words. Would she be uncomfortable living with me? Then, she waved a hand in front of my face, breaking the silence. Hey, you okay? She asked, looking genuinely concerned. Yeah. It's fine. I don't mind at all. I said a little too quickly. She seemed surprised initially but then smiled widely. Great. I'm Lauren. See you later, she called as she walked into our dorm room. As I wandered to grab pizza for dinner, I tried to shake the unease away. When I returned, it was dark, and I hurried up the stairs. I knocked on the door, but got no answer. After fumbling with the keys, I stepped inside, only to be met with an ear-piercing scream. Ah, we both yelped in surprise, and Lauren nearly toppled off her bed. I knocked. I protested, feeling a mix of amusement and embarrassment. I had my headphones in. You scared me, she gasped, her eyes wide. Sorry about that. I brought pizza. Want some? Oh, fantastic. Thanks, she grinned as she reached for a slice. I guess that means I owe you dinner tomorrow? Absolutely. I laughed, feeling the tension ease between us. So, should we establish some roommate rules? She asked, still munching on her pizza. Sure. First rule, we communicate. I suggested. Definitely. Oh, what's your name? She asked, playfully scrunching her eyebrows. Cat. But please, anything but Catherine. I smiled nervously. Lauren. I guess we should exchange numbers in case one of us needs to get in touch, she said, pulling out her phone. As we shared our numbers, we chatted about our backgrounds. Lauren revealed she was from Washington and had lived in foster care for most of her life after losing her parents. I felt a pang of sympathy but was inspired by her resilience. I'm sorry to hear that, I replied sincerely. Thanks, but it's not your fault, she laughed. You didn't kill them or anything. We both chuckled, grateful for the easygoing banter that had developed between us. Eventually, we wrapped up our conversation, yawning as the night wore on. Lauren, in the blink of an eye, had fallen asleep. I took a moment to reflect, feeling content. College was a fresh start, and perhaps this roommate situation would pave the way for an unexpected friendship filled with laughter and understanding. The next morning, the sun filtered in through the window, casting a warm glow over the room. I stirred awake, glancing at the clock. I had overslept. Frantically, I jumped out of bed and rushed to get ready. After a hasty shower and throwing on some jeans and a comfortable hoodie, I sniffed the air as I left the bathroom. Lauren? I called, hoping to find her awake. No answer. I peeked into her space and noticed her still nestled under her blankets, just a lump in the bed. I had to admit, she looked kind of adorable like that. I decided to let her sleep a little longer, so I headed to the common kitchen to grab a quick breakfast. The kitchen was abuzz with fellow students, some busy making coffee, while others huddled together, animatedly discussing their plans for the day. I filled a bowl with cereal and poured some milk, all while trying to shake off my morning grogginess. Hey! Freshman over here, someone called out. I turned to see Nick waving at me from across the room. Good morning, Nick. I smiled, my heart beating a little faster at the sight of him. Didn't expect to see you this early. Have you met your roommate yet? He asked, raising an eyebrow with that charming grin. I did. She's really cool, actually. Her name's Lauren, I replied, feeling a surge of pride. Oh, awesome. I think you two will get along just fine, she's super down to earth. Just watch out, she can be a bit sarcastic, he chuckled, and I smiled along. Thanks for the heads up. I said, laughing slightly. Just then, I noticed a light footfall behind me. You guessed it, it was Lauren, finally awake. Good morning, sleepyhead. I teased, and she groaned dramatically, rubbing the sleep from her eyes. Morning. I'm supposed to be a morning person, but I think I let that go when I turned 18, she replied, stifling a yawn. Can't blame you for that. Nick chimed in. You should grab some breakfast before it all disappears. As Lauren shuffled over to the counter, I watched as she and Nick exchanged friendly banter, laughing over his latest misadventure from the previous year. I felt a sense of ease. I liked her personality, and seeing her interact with my new friend felt like a small victory. After breakfast, we headed back to our room to gather our books for our first classes. Lauren threw on her favorite oversized sweater, and we both grabbed our bags. Ready for your first day? She asked, her voice a mix of encouragement and curiosity. Absolutely. Just a bit nervous, I admitted, feeling a flutter in my stomach. She chuckled lightly. Trust me, everyone else is just as anxious. It's like a giant first day of school moment all over again. Good point. Just stick together, right? I proposed. We headed out into the lively campus, the atmosphere buzzing with excitement and chatter. Students darted between buildings, clutching cups of coffee and backpacks overflowing with supplies. As we reached our first class, I felt my nervousness rise again. The lecture hall was filled with students, eagerly chattering and settling into their seats. Just sit next to me. You'll be fine, Lauren encouraged, sliding into a seat. I took a deep breath, feeling reassured as I joined her. The professor entered, and the room fell silent. I took a moment to soak in the environment, the massive hall, the eager faces, and the sound of the professor's voice droning on about the syllabus. I felt a sense of belonging settle in my stomach. Lauren leaned in, whispering little jokes and comments during the lecture, keeping me amused and focused. I noticed how easy it was to talk to her, even in the middle of what could have been a mundane class. After the lecture, we found ourselves in the bustling quad, surrounded by students, flyers, and food stalls. "Let's check out some clubs," Lauren suggested, glancing at a huge banner above a table showcasing various organizations. We walked from table to table, absorbing all the opportunities to join clubs, from art to activism, and everything in between. I felt a rush of adrenaline. This was a place ripe with possibilities. "Hey! What do you think of joining the LGBTQ+ Alliance?" Lauren asked, eyeing a colorful table with members handing out flyers. "I'd be in," I replied without hesitation, feeling a sense of excitement at the idea. "Great. They're really awesome, trust me," she grinned, moving us toward the table. As we chatted with the members, I noticed the camaraderie and support radiating from everyone. It felt good to know there were people already looking out for fellow students, creating a safe and inclusive space. Later, we took a break and found a quiet spot on a grassy lawn, sharing laughter and stories about our backgrounds. Lauren told me about her love for dancing, and how, despite the difficult circumstances, she found joy in expressing herself through movement. "I think you'd be an amazing dancer," I said, genuinely impressed. "Maybe. But only after a coffee or two," she teased, biting into her sandwich. As the day wore on, I realized how quickly my nerves had dissipated. Having Lauren by my side made all the difference. The sun was beginning to set as we headed back to our dorm, a warm glow illuminating the campus. Just as we were rounding the corner to our building, Lauren turned to me, her expression serious. "Kat, I'm glad you're my roommate," she said sincerely. "Me too, Lauren. I think we're going to have a great year," I replied, feeling the same pulse of excitement I had felt in the morning. As we entered our dorm, I felt an overwhelming sense of hope for the adventures that lay ahead, unspooling before us like the unwritten pages of a story yet to be told. Back in our dorm room, the ambience shifted as the sun dipped below the horizon, bathing everything in a soft twilight glow. I set my bag down and flopped onto my bed, feeling the rush of emotions from the first day settling into a comforting warmth. "All right, what's next on our agenda?" Lauren asked as she unpacked her things, giving me a side-eye filled with mischief. I laughed. "I don't know if I'm up for studying just yet. Let's do something fun." "Fun is my specialty," she declared with a playful grin. "How about we grab some ice cream from that little shop off campus? I heard they have 12 different flavors." "I'm in. Bonus points if one of those flavors is cookie dough," I replied, sitting up eagerly. After freshening up a bit, we walked out, the evening air pleasantly cool against our skin. As we strolled across campus, the energy from the day lingered in the air, enveloping us in a camaraderie that felt both warm and exhilarating. The ice cream shop was bustling with students unwinding after their first day. We stepped inside, greeted by the sweet scent of waffle cones. After a cheerful exchange with the cashier, we walked out, 2 cones in hand, topped with heaps of vibrant, creamy goodness. "Oh man, this is so good," I exclaimed after taking my first bite of the cookie dough flavor, savoring the chunks of dough mixed with the rich vanilla. "Right? I told you it'd be great," Lauren said, her eyes sparkling with delight. "But let's put it to the ultimate test. Which flavor do you think I went with?" I'll guess something fruity. Like strawberry?" I said, a teasing smile on my lips. Biting into her cone, she dramatically raised an eyebrow and shook her head. "Oh no, my friend. It's mint chocolate chip. The true champion in the ice cream hierarchy." "Ugh, sacrilege." I pretended to gasp, dropping my cone in mock horror. We both laughed, drawing the attention of a few passers-by. After our ice cream adventure, we found a cozy spot on the quad, sprawling out on the grass beneath a canopy of stars. It felt surreal to be so comfortable already, sharing stories and laughter, as if we had known each other for years. "Tell me more about you, Kat," she said, settling back with her hands behind her head. "What's your story?" I hesitated for a moment, but then I found the words spilling out, about my family, my trepidation about college, and my hopes for this chapter in life. The night was filled with storytelling, dreams, and the kind of laughter that echoed into the night. Lauren listened intently, occasionally sharing bits of her own past, the struggles, the triumphs, and everything that brought her to this point. She spoke of her love for dance, how it helped her cope, and the power it brought to her life. "I wish I could express myself like that," I admitted. "Maybe one day I'll try." "You totally should. Just let loose, find your rhythm. It's all about feeling it," Lauren encouraged. As we lay there under the stars, I shifted the conversation toward our plans for the semester. We began brainstorming ideas for classes, clubs, and activities we wanted to try, our excitement building with each idea shared. Eventually, the coolness of the night began to seep in, prompting us to return to our dorm. Back inside, we settled into our respective beds. I reached for the desk lamp, casting a warm light across the room. "Kat, I just wanted to say, I'm really glad we ended up as roommates," Lauren said seriously. "Me too," I replied, feeling a genuine connection blossoming. "It's nice to have someone to share this experience with." As the conversation lingered, we discussed everything from future ambitions to silly fears, creating a bond that felt effortless and natural. The nervousness that had accompanied our first meeting had melted away completely, replaced by a sense of friendship and understanding. "I guess this is it, huh? Our new beginning," I said thoughtfully, reflecting on how remarkably the day had turned out. "It really is," Lauren replied with a soft smile. "And I can't wait for what comes next." With that, we settled into a comfortable silence, both feeling the weight of the day's excitement beginning to pull us towards sleep. Under the gentle rhythm of the ticking clock, I closed my eyes, a smile playing on my lips as I thought about all the possibilities waiting for us in the days ahead. College was more than just classes and lectures. It was about the friendships formed, the lessons learned, and the adventures waiting to unfold. I drifted off to the sounds of laughter and the promise of new experiences, grateful for the journey we were about to embark on together. And for the first time in a long while, I felt truly at home.